Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Asus Transformer Pad Mobile Dock, priced at $139.99 and designed exclusively for the TF701 that I just recently unboxed as well as updated all of you on. This is a must-have accessory for that tablet because after all, this is where the transformation comes into play. We've got a keyboard as well as touchpad, but it also extends battery life by up to 4 hours, provides you with a full-size SD card slot as well as full-size USB 3.0 port. So this really takes a traditional 10.1-inch tablet, which is what the TF701 really is, and converts it into a much more productive machine that really does blur the line between tablets and traditional ultrabooks. With that said, let me get this out of the box. And the TF701, I've already updated all of you on. It really does represent a best-in-class tablet right now, especially when you compare it with its peers. Its price point for a 32 gigabyte device that is Android driven with a Tegra 4 quad-core processor, 2 gigs of RAM, dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 3.0, of course GPS, dual cameras, all improvements. By the way, I want to point out Asus has changed their packaging also on this product, much like the latest gen TF701. So this is something new, a redesign across the entire lineup for their packaging at least. Not that that's a significant thing, but certainly something to be pointed out. Here is the actual keyboard, and it looks pretty much the same as what the previous generations have, except the big difference is there has been a redesign on the actual keyboard itself, but I'll get to that in a moment. No included charger, as you may have noticed. This is not something new. Previous generations of the Transformer unfortunately shared in that same situation, which I would like to see them finally provide something at $140. I think the keyboard is certainly expensive enough that even though it does offer unparalleled performance when compared to just about everything else out there, because really there aren't a lot of products like this, it still would be nice to have a dedicated charger beyond the supplied one with the actual Transformer TF701. Now that the plastic is off, let's take a closer look. And I can tell you from just finishing up my review recently with the Transformer Pad, or excuse me, the Transformer, the T100, which is a Windows 8.1 machine, completely different finish, even though a very similar color. And that Transformer tablet does not have the additional battery in the keyboard, as really doesn't have any of these features beyond just a USB port. So this is the highest end Transformer that Asus makes. As you can see on the left side, we've got our charging port so that you're able to use Asus's proprietary charging cable that was included, as I mentioned, with the TF701, as well as an LED for charging indication. Nothing on the front end of this. On the right side, we have our full-size SD card slot right there, and then our full-size USB 3.0 port. Now, that is a big improvement from the last generation, 10 times the speed, essentially, for those of you curious. And if you're using things like hard drives, jump drives, other peripherals may benefit, but those are the key ones that are really going to benefit because it's all about data transfer. Now, in terms of the keyboard, they have changed things up a little bit. The touchpad, it'll be interesting to see how it performs. The other Transformer I was just mentioning, the Windows 8.1 machine, actually had a click on the keypad. Here we do not. That's another key defining or differentiating factor between this keyboard dock, besides the fact that, as I mentioned, it extends battery life beyond just offering a USB port and full-size SD card slot. So it really does take a tablet and transform it. Let me go ahead and actually dock it so that you guys can actually see what this looks like. I'm looking to see if there is a lock. There's a lock located right here at the back end, but I should be able to just slide it up. The lock, by the way, the locking mechanism, you can now see has rotated to the front end, and this is really the exact same design that we had with previous generations. The keyboard, as I mentioned, tweaked. It seems that they've spaced out the keys a little bit better, as well as actually improving upon usability overall. At least that's been the promise from Asus. Let me get the plastic out of the way here because it's still lingering. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, take the TF701 and drop it in and lock it. Or excuse me, that is the unlock. It auto locks again like previous generations. And there we have it. You can see it's actually, it recognized that it was docked. In terms of battery life, it's now telling me there is a firmware update available. I'm going to go ahead and show that to all of you. You can see there's a firmware update right there. It's letting me know. So I'll go ahead and run that, see what that brings to the actual experience, but I'm sure it's probably just a routine update. In terms of batteries, I do now see in the upper right corner two battery icons, so it's clearly aware that it has been docked. But touchpad seems to be performing relatively well. Let me go ahead and back up the camera a little bit so you can get a better view of this. And this is as far, by the way, as this can be bent back, so the range of motion is limited, but you can see there's the mouse. And in terms of responsiveness, relatively solid. It seems pretty good. I'll have to see how it performs with web browsing and really trying to fool me, as most transformers often attempt to do from Asus, into believing that I'm using more than just a traditional mobile experience on a really high-end piece of hardware, because that's what the transformer is all about, of course, taking tablets to the next level. So let me go ahead and close this up. You can see this is the profile when it's closed, very similar to an Ultrabook. And that's really the appeal here, is that, you know, for $450 you get the tablet, and eventually Asus, I would think, should be bundling it. They had said originally they would be. And here you end up with something that's definitely comparable to similar offerings with different operating systems, especially the Windows machines. Now, of course, if you need a full Windows machine, then you shouldn't be looking at an Android-driven experience. But if the Android operating system in this form, again, Jelly Bean 4.22, is able to deliver on pretty much everything you need to do, at least in a mobile capacity, then the transformer does really take it to another level by giving you the keyboard dock, unparalleled battery life. Again, you're looking at, when docked, at least by Asus's numbers, 14 hours. I'm thinking we're probably going to get around 12, but I haven't actually tested it yet, so I don't want to undersell them or oversell them here. But the point is, unparalleled battery life, unparalleled functionality. You can see it's actually charging right now. It's charging the battery of the tablet. That's another active feature of the keyboard. So even when it's not being powered, the idea is that if you ever separate and undock the tablet, your battery is topped off. Another nice automatic feature. But overall, build quality seems solid. Color scheme matches, at least as far as my eye can tell. Again, I'll just show you the bottom side, which gives a look of aluminum but is clearly plastic like the entire unit. But it seems like it's a color match for the most part. It's pretty close, much like their other transformers. Again, this is the top of the line transformer, at least within the non-full-blown Windows machines that Asus makes. And in my opinion, does represent a great value. Again, $450 for the 32 gigabyte Wi-Fi tablet and $140 for this keyboard dock, which really does just enhance the experience in just about every possible way if you're looking to really replace a computer. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.